Team 1 plan, as I am on Digi Team number 1.
Are you? Okay.
First question was how I pass on my learning.
Wow.
So starting on Friday, our first team meeting, I'm going to do a series of 4. Sorry, that's not very clear. A series of 4 presentations. So I don't want to overwhelm everyone in one go. So
Okay.
I'll break it down into little chunks.
Okay.
Week 1,
Yeah.
I'll just talk through generally what we did over these 2 days.
Fantastic.
And what I took away from it.
Yeah.
And then ask everyone in my team, what's their grey areas around 365. If they were to complete the training, what is it they want to take away from it? So then I'd sort of turn that into a team learning plan to take back to them in the next week.
Nice.
So week 2 would follow on from week 1 in terms of what they wanted to learn. Who can have it in terms of customers, so who should be targeting for minimum requirements in terms of operating systems, things like that. What's prohibitive to 365, such as operating systems, etc. And then should we need to look at hybrid, or when to expect possibly looking at hybrid.
So what you might do is cleanse your base a little bit, like who can we target on 365 and maybe target top 10. Do all that stuff.
I'll address that
okay.
on my next slide.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go to the tariffs.
Yeah.
So obviously the business plans and what that all entails, and then have a quick look at the enterprise licenses.
Yeah.
365 killers or objection handling, as I've realised the word.
Okay.
Because it took me some phrases. Such as the data centres that have been built.
Yeah.
Virtualisation.
Nice.
I'm sure someone that just want to knock that away straight off. Week 3, the YO2 piece. So we'll talk about the experience that MJ Flood have got with the amount of deployments they've done across the UK and Ireland. And I think that makes them the biggest, or makes us the biggest deployer of 365 in the partnership.
In UK, and you were global syndication partner 2013, was it? Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, and then talk about professional services and how that relates to migrations, whether it's email or SharePoint, things like that. And then the support wrap.
Really key.
Really key on the
That's
support
big.
wrap.
YO2.
Yeah.
Make sure your guys understand the YO2. That's unique to you guys.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think I mentioned yesterday about the support wrap, that was just something that I said. Oh, we did support wrap for free. But really, that's a whole conversation.
Massive.
On its own.
It is.
Because it is that big.
Yeah.
And then week 4, once all that has sunk in, and we move on to demonstrations.
Nice.
Respect for business. OneDrive, probably just skim over that because everyone's using it. But SharePoint and how that would work in the customer environment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Team targets.
Yeah.
So a few things that I want to sort of set out for the team. One is to landscape the base, which should start from Friday, and give someone a quarter to do that. So speak to all your customers once and obtain that information. So that would work out to be the end of May. Server details, operating systems, version of Office, and whoever's got existing 365 tenancies for when we become CSP.
So these are just some of the questions that, whilst they're landscaping their base, that need to be asking their customers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Without that crucial information, they're not really going to know what. There might be a couple of more subjects you might want to put into that, Martin, but generally, I think those are more or less the right questions to ask. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Definitely.
Encourage the team to participate in calling days, where they can do the landscaping, but also I'll try and make myself available for support, whether that's jumping on a call or just asking questions.
Okay.
And then seeing whether we can handle that within the team, or it does need to go up to a solutions team for something in a bit more detail.
Okay.
And then that is going to start at the end of February, once we have the first two team meetings.
Okay.
And then obviously standard business licenses to be targeted for quick wins, if that's just to get the latest version of Office.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to build a generic total cost of ownership model that Dan mentioned yesterday or before. In that we have some sort of pretty generic figures that we can tweak depending on the amount of emails users they've got within the company.
Yeah.
And then we can say this is generally what you look to save over 3 to 5 years.
Which I'm sure Martin can share the one that he showed yesterday. I will share the one that I've got when I found it with you guys, so you've got it, and we'll send everything out in a maybe I'll share it in my drive or whatever it is, right? Yeah. But I'll make sure that you guys have got something that you can work as a standard model or generic model, like you've just said there.
Just
absolutely.
To agree off what, for
the ROI document,
Yeah.
what's right, you know, what's going to fit, what suits, and then once we've got a general idea,
Yeah.
we can then adopt it.
You could probably put in some formulas per licensing or something like that.
The licensing
potentially.
part's fine. It's just understanding how many factors of costs for the customers. You know, whether it be 5 costs or 10 costs, it's going to change depending on the customer he's speaking to.
The one I've got actually, it gives you all the Microsoft costing in the back end. I think you've seen it, haven't you?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it actually, I'll find it and I'll make sure you guys have got it. It gives you all the latest Microsoft costing in the back end, so you don't have to try and plan it or work it out internally. But yeah, you're right. Get a TCO model put in place. Good.
Yeah, okay. And then I think it's already set up actually, but leverage a Yammer group for us in particular.
Yeah.
So we share best practice,
Perfect.
you know, key sort of little snippets of information.
Yeah.
And then when someone has, you know, closed quite a good deal, we go into detail on it. Not just what people do on Yammer at the minute and just pick people up because that's really annoying.
Okay.
But actually go into granular detail of who the customer is, what industry they're in, what the pain points were,
I like that.
and how we've got into actually selling.
I like that. I think you should
Yeah.
encourage that a little bit more actually. I like that.
To spin it up some more, we can do it as an ask of marketing and get them to do some case studies on
I like
some
that.
bigger ones.
I like that. I think you really do need to be sharing more and more on Yammer with respect to not just, hey, you know, I did 500 licenses, but actually exactly what you said. Go into a little bit more what the pain points of the customer were and how you won the deal. And so I'm quite sure that the support wrap will come into that piece as well. But that's good, really good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, I like that.
Done.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done. Very good. Excellent.